You guys all ready? Okay. We'll give Roberto a second. Great. Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our weekly press conference that we have. And it's wonderful to be here today at the new headquarters of MSD in the Park Hill neighborhood. I want to thank Tony Parrott and his entire team here at MSD for hosting us here today and for their commitment to the Park Hill neighborhood and to West Louisville with their decision to locate their corporate headquarters here across the street from a very important project that we're working on in partnership with the Reland Group to help continue to redevelop and revitalize the Park Hill neighborhood. MSD is a strong community partner, as they've shown by their commitment to put their headquarters here in Park Hill, as they've shown with their $200+ million investment that's being made in MSD's Patty's Run flood pump station, as they've shown with their investment in our parks, that we just recently had some great new openings of projects in our parks, like in Chickasaw and Shawnee Park, that are thanks in part to investments by MSD. MSD is taking the lead on working with diverse suppliers across the city with their services and all of the work that they do. So Tony, thank you to you and your team for what you all do. MSD has several responsibilities, and one of those major responsibilities is to manage the city's sewer systems. And one aspect that we want to talk about today is MSD's efforts to address odor remediation. And that's really important because we know that when people are living or working in neighborhoods where there are odors that are outside, that's a really important quality of life issue. We acknowledge this issue, we understand this issue, and MSD and Louisville Metro government are working to address this issue and fix it as rapidly as possible. And part of the reason it's happening is because we've got some sewer lines that date back to the 1860s. We take this issue seriously. MSD takes this issue seriously. MSD has a program called Clarity, that's C-L-A-I-R-I-T-Y, that deals with odor mitigation. MSD has spent a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of work on this effort, and they will continue to in the years ahead until this is fully addressed. So Tony Parrott is here with us today, and he's going to give a little bit more information so that residents of West Louisville and all of Louisville understand what is being done, what the issues are, and what some of the timelines are to expect as MSD continues to address odor mitigation. Tony, thanks again for hosting us, and thanks for dealing transparently with this so folks across the community can understand all of the work and investment that's being done. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Mayor Greenberg. I know everything that we do at MSD would not be possible if it wasn't for the support that we get from you and your administration. We're very grateful for that. Welcome to this building. This is going to be our future main office headquarters here in the Park Hill neighborhood. And as we grow and as we have expanded our operations, we are now needing new headquarters. And so this building will give us the capacity to hire more professionals to meet the operational and the regulatory requirements that we are faced with our wastewater treatment, stormwater drainage, and Ohio River flood protection. As you all know, we are in the midst of what we call odor season, which usually runs through the month of June through the end of October. And we are working to deal with odors not only in this part of the community, but throughout the entire service area in Jefferson County in our wastewater collection and treatment system. This is odor season because the dry summer months lead to less rain, and when you have less rain, you don't have the ability to flush through wastewater through the sewers and fill the traps that are necessary to keep odors within the collection system. But we're not solely just relying on rain. We are investing, as the mayor said, over the next 2 fiscal years, over $50 million in capital projects, and we are doubling down on our operations and assign additional staff to oversee our odor strategy and our odor mitigation. Kim Reed, our Chief Innovation Officer, is going to be the lead with all of our odor strategy with the Air Pollution Control District and with the community and our operations team. One of the things I want to talk about today is to let you know that we address odors every day in our operations, whether it's at our small treatment plants, large treatment plants, pump stations, and all of the different ways that we do in terms of using chemical treatment, biological scrubbers, or even major biofilters at our large wastewater treatment facilities. This is something that we do every day, but we know we need to do more. And so over the last couple of years, because of the dry weather that we were getting in the summer, we're seeing, particularly on this map, you see the 5 watersheds that we are responsible for in Jefferson County. Morris Foreman, which is our largest and oldest treatment plant in the state of Kentucky, serves our combined sewer system. And basically what that means is it was a system that was built back in the 1800s to be able to take on stormwater and wastewater. And when you don't get the rain, you have trouble with odors within that combined sewer system. So even though we have odors throughout Jefferson County, we are focused primarily in the Morris Foreman watershed and all of the areas that drain to it, including the downtown business district, Old Louisville, and all of the communities that are west of 9th Street. And so we have a target area in terms of how we're doubling down on our operations and where we're putting our focus with our capital investments. We are tracking odor complaints as they come in, working through the Air Pollution Control District and also the Smell My City app. And so we know that there's odors throughout the county, but on this map it shows the yellow where you see the more concentrated or the more dense areas of odor complaints that we are focused on in our community. So we are doing things that will really try to not only address odors at our treatment facilities, but odors that are emanating from catch basins. A lot of people don't know that catch basins can be a primary source of odors, and that's the little grates that you see along the side of the street. When it rains, the water goes in, and basically, you know, it's in our combined sewer system. And so we have some of those catch basins that are old, some of them are trapped, some of them are untrapped. If they are untrapped, the map shows you that odors can emanate or come out of those catch basins. If they're trapped, there's a water gap that prevents odors that come out. So we're dealing with untrapped catch basins. We're dealing with catch basins that need repair. And so we have put a lot of focus and a lot of money on remedying that throughout the 8 or 9 communities within West Louisville. The other thing that we are dealing with is dry weather. We have had a history over the last few years in Kentucky with long dry spells, and so that exacerbates the odor issue. And within a combined sewer system, if you're not getting the rain, you're not getting the flushing, and so that can lead to odors, and particularly if you have untrapped catch basins, but also with trapped catch basins, when you have water that can evaporate in those trapped catch basins, you can still get odors that come into the system. So what we're doing from an operation perspective is making sure that we are cleaning and flushing and deodorizing catch basins. We are flushing our sewer lines and replacing a lot of missing or damaged catch basins in the city. We're adjusting our chemical feeds at our pump stations and our treatment facilities, and we're working in partnership with our Louisville Water Company to do more targeted hydrant flushing to get water in the system. And we've even put in new water trucks and using contractors to help us get water in the system where necessary. We're also designing in odor control as a part of our large capital projects. For example, right now at Morris Foreman, we have a $250 million project to replace our biosolids project there. And a part of that is about $12 million worth of scope for odor mitigation. I talk about water in the system, and this is a very good map because what it shows you is over the last 50 years, the consumption in the blue bars and the number of customers that we have with the red line. as the number of customers have pretty much tripled over the last 50 years, you can see that the consumption has pretty much remained flat. And so about 150 million gallons a day is sold by the Louisville Water Company. And so that just gives you an idea of why when we say we're taking on more waste and we're taking on more solids, it's because our city has grown. But we haven't had an increase in consumption. Rain is very important. And if we get a 2-inch rain event, it can produce about 2 billion gallons of runoff. 2 billion gallons of runoff. That helps flush that combined sewer system. And so a lot of people say, well, why can't you just work with the water company and put more water in the system? We would rather rely on the rain event. And so we have been very fortunate over the last couple of months. We are in the middle of odor season now, and we've had pretty much a rain event every other week. And so that's really helped mitigate the odor in our system. So we have focused on catch basins, and we have identified or we are completed or we're under construction in the bidding process for over 422 catch basin replacement projects that will be covering multiple neighborhoods and completed by the end of '25. Just to kind of break it down for you, we have focused projects in Park Duval that have been completed. We have projects in 3 phases in Maple Street, the California neighborhood, which 1 phase has been completed and the other 2 will be completed this fiscal year. In the Shawnee Basin, we have over 200 catch basins that we are working on, which will be completed by May of 2025. And we're also doing work in the Chickasaw neighborhood, and those bid documents will be going out this fall. In the Taylor-Berry neighborhood and the Russell neighborhood, for example, we have an additional work that will be bid in September in Taylor-Berry. And for Russell, we're going to have to do that work in phases. We have over 747 catch basins that need to be repaired. So just want to give you an idea, when I tell you that, that's a $15 million project. And so we have got to be able to phase those over time to be able to fit those in our budget. But we've identified those, and we are going to be moving forward. When people have odors, when we hear from them, we ask them, okay, where are you smelling it at? It's very important that we get that detail. Is it coming from the catch basin in the street? Is it coming from a basement drain? Is it coming from a sewer vent? Those are the type of things that we need to know so we can determine what is the source of odors. And so we will continue to work with our customers to do that. I mentioned doing more outreach and communications through our Clarity program, as the mayor mentioned. We have sent out over 50,000 letters to folks, primarily in the West End, identifying when our meetings are during the summer, also letting them know when those meetings will occur, and that odor season has begun. And now, as I said, we're in the middle of it now. And so we will continue to have that type of outreach, targeted outreach, and we have had 2 of the 5 scheduled meetings this summer. Our next meeting is going to be August 27th, and we have a couple other meetings in October. So we're doing a lot to get out to the community, and we're doing everything we can to be transparent and to be focused on odor mitigation. So these are the upcoming meetings that we have left this summer. But we encourage folks to reach out to us and contact us so that we can address odors. So, Mr. Mayor, that's our update.
We're going to do a little pivot from what we usually do, and if there are questions, there'll be plenty of time for questions at the end about any topics that you'd like, but just we're going to pivot to a different type of topic after this. So if there are questions for Tony, why don't you stay up here right now, Tony, and if there are questions for Tony or for me about this topic, we'll take them right now just while you're thinking of your questions. I just again want to thank Tony for his effort. As you can see, this is a complicated, expensive challenge that is decades, hundreds of years in the making. We're aware of the issues. MSD is working on the issues. We want to move as rapidly as we can. Tony knows very clearly that we want to move as quickly as we can, and I thank them for what they're doing, and we just think it's very important to be transparent with the community about what we are doing, when things will happen, and that we understand what's going on. But we want to continue to hear from them and continue this transparency with the community about this issue. Are there questions for Tony, Roberto?
Yeah, as is pointed out here, the ones that have the dollar amounts there, you can see in terms of timing, you can see when some of them are already completed, and then some of them will be bid this year, and then some of them will be completed by May of next year. For those areas where we've completed our inspections and the Chickasaw and the Taylor Bear neighborhood, for example, we're developing the bid documents for Chickasaw. That project will be done this fiscal year and part of fiscal year 26. And the Taylor Berry neighborhood, that project will be bidding in September of this year. The Russell area, as we mentioned, is going to be phased just because of the magnitude of the lift there financially. But we think that probably within the next, it's in our 5-year capital plan to be able to phase those out. And then there's additional neighborhoods that we are going to continue to look at, Portland, Smoketown, other areas, and so we're going to be looking at all of those areas.
And 5 years from now, once all of these projects are completed, is this issue of these odors, particularly in these neighborhoods, going to be completely gone, or is it going to be less frequent?
Well, I think, the one thing we have to remember that a part of a sewer system, odors is a byproduct of a sewer system. And in a combined sewer system, even if you have trapped catch basins, if you have 2 months without rain and it's 95 degrees and humid, you're going to have water evaporation in those traps. So you're going to have odors that come out of that, but it's not going to be as densely a problem as we are seeing now. And then as we do more improvements at Morris Foreman and more improvements within the collection system, we'll be able to be more proactive in addressing it.
With Park Duval finished, did you hear from anybody there saying, yeah, this is improved, or is 18 catch basins not enough?
Well, I think that one of the things that there's more issues beyond the catch basins in the Park Duval area. We know that they're relatively close to our Morris Foreman treatment plant, for example. So, it is better as it relates to localized odors, but there's still odors within the community that we know that we need to address at our Bells Lane area and also at our Morris Foreman treatment plant. But we are more responsive and reactive to where when we get those complaints, we can try to address them, and then we can follow up and let people know what we did. And that's one of the big things that we're missing, is people didn't know exactly what we did. Or, if we got an issue, why didn't we be more proactive to tell them about it? So the one thing that I think that is going to help also is just continuing to collaborate with communities like Park Duval and make sure that we're aware of what's going on.
On the Morris Foreman plant, how long out before you consider that finished?
Well, Morris Foreman has multiple needs. We have already invested over $150 million just operationally at Morris Foreman. I mentioned the biosolids project that we're working on now is another $250 million project. That project won't be done until the end of fiscal year 26. And even beyond that, as regulatory changes come in, we're going to have other improvements that we may have to do at Morris Foreman. So it's a 10-year plan at Morris Foreman, but we're addressing the odors as a part of this biosolids project.
Will this impact bill prices at all? You mentioned that, these are expensive projects, and that's another thing we hear from people is the bill for things that are associated with MSD.
Sure.
So how does that play into it?
Well, when you think about the magnitude of the capital investment, we're talking about 90% of our capital plan is regulatory driven, which means we have to do them. And we are doing everything that we're trying to do to go after grants, to go after low interest loans, and to do other alternative financing to be able to reduce the cost overall. Without grants, which is free money, unfortunately, the local rate base is impacted by those regulatory requirements. So any project that is a regulatory driven project that we can't push out is going to impact our local cost.
Thank you all. Thanks, Tony.
Thanks.
Thanks, Tony. Now to some fun stuff. That was odors. Now we're going to get to some of the really fun stuff and great things that are going on around our city. Let me just... What a great last 24 hours it's been. Is there any of the 14,000 people that were at Freedom Hall last night had a wonderful experience? Well, maybe the Cats fans had a slightly better experience than the Cards fans, but what a wonderful experience it was to have the TBT tournament here with U of L alumni, playing UK alumni. It was just a wonderful reflection of how our community loves our events. We love hosting people from around the world, and we love celebrating each other across our community. We love doing it outdoors. We love doing it indoors. I think this is one of the many reasons why the Sundance Film Festival has named Louisville as one of the 6 finalist cities to be the next home of the Sundance Film Festival. This morning, I started my day with the Police Activity League, a great run with kids from around the community that are getting to know people in the police department at an early age, starting to rebuild that trust through the Police Activity League. We had a wonderful 5K that we started the day at Iroquois Park. Another great example of a smaller event, but a powerful event, outside, with kids, with families, that bring us together. And so when I became mayor, one of the things we wanted to focus on was enhancing and improving community events that the mayor's office had historically done, but also supporting some of these other great events that happen across the community. And as we look ahead to the rest of the year and future years, there are so many exciting events on the calendar. And Metro government partners in one way, shape, or form with nearly all of these events, and some we sponsor as well. So to move forward with the events that the mayor's office has historically been involved with, or one that we're going to talk about that we've recently created, we decided we wanted to go in a new direction. And we wanted to really enhance the quality and a new feel as we move forward into the future. And so now I'm so thrilled to say that our team within the mayor's office is working with Joey Wagner and his colleagues at the Joey Wagner Group and other private sector partners so that we can make city-involved events more enjoyable, more accessible, and bigger and better than ever before for people all across our city. And we're adding to the lineup of events that we've had. So we want to give you a preview of what some of those are. First, coming up, let's look ahead to Labor Day weekend, where it's always a huge weekend here in Louisville. And this year, it will be as well. First, there's World Fest. World Fest will once again be happening on the Belvedere. This is the 22nd edition of World Fest, and it's always a great time. We expect about 150,000 people to be enjoying themselves with their families in downtown Louisville on the Belvedere for World Fest. Just like the Carnival in South Louisville that the Cuban community had last weekend, the World Fest showcases our diverse global cultures that are right here in Louisville. Right here, these cultures that are part of our community that make the city of Louisville so unique and interesting. There's food, music, art, and more. And World Fest is free to attend, free for all families. This year's World Fest will include 3 stages showcasing international, national, and regional and local performers. We'll also hold a naturalization ceremony where we'll welcome more than 300 new Americans to Louisville as new cities. And one of my favorite parts of World Fest weekend is the Parade of Cultures, with nearly 1,000 participants that are celebrating their diverse cultures that are right here as part of our community in Louisville. The Global Village highlights cultures and customs from all over the world, plus a children's international activity zone with information available for our international residents, the fastest growing part of our community here in Louisville. Again, World Fest is free to attend. It's great family fun for people of all ages, and it's Friday, August 30th through Monday, September 2nd on the Belvedere over the Labor Day weekend. And Labor Day weekend, that also means on Labor Day Monday that we're going to welcome thousands of people just a couple of blocks away to Waterfront Park on Labor Day morning for the hike, bike, and paddle. And this year, it's going to be extra special because it's the 20th edition of the Mayor's Hike, Bike, and Paddle event. And so here's what we're going to do this year, bigger than, better than ever. Our hike will be a 4-mile walk. People can, of course, go for a shorter period if they want. And that walk will be along the Ohio River, across the bridge, River Park Place and back for those who want to go the furthest, of course, over the bridge. It'll start at the Great Lawn on Waterfront Park. For people who are going to be participating in the bike portion of the day, we have a really new and exciting route that we're excited about. That will also start at the Great Lawn on Waterfront Park. It'll go through Nulu, it'll go out to Cherokee Park, and back. It's an 8.5-mile route, and we've got the roads closed so that people can safely enjoy this great bike route with their families. And for those who want to paddle, paddles will have the option of launching at the harbor lawn or at the U of L boat docks and paddle downstream to catch up with the other paddlers. And this year's paddle will go from the harbor lawn downriver to the McAlpin locks, through the locks, and will end at the Shawnee boat ramp. It's a really unique and exciting experience that most paddlers can never do. Most paddlers anywhere in the country don't have the opportunity to go through locks like they do on Labor Day right here in Louisville. A great family fun on Mayor's Hike, Bike, and Paddle for our 20th anniversary edition that we're so excited, and I can't wait to participate. I'm still trying to decide which of the three I'm going to do. So that's Labor Day weekend. And looking ahead into the fall, we all know that we've got some amazing musical festivals coming up. Bourbon and Beyond, where we're probably going to have over 200,000 people. And as part of that, we're going to be launching what we've already said is our first new event from the mayor's office, and that is the Planet Fitness Mayorthon series of races. I want to give a special thanks to the Cubers and Planet Fitness for sponsoring this event and making it possible. So the first event in that series of races is the Bourbon and Beyond 5K that will happen Saturday, September 21st at 8 a.m. at Kentucky Fair and Expo Center. We have a great new race course on the morning during Bourbon and Beyond. We're partnering, again, Planet Fitness is sponsoring this. We're also partnering with Danny Wimmer Presents, who is presenting Bourbon and Beyond, and the next week, Louder Than Life. We've got a great course that involves Ring Road, it involves Kentucky Kingdom, it involves Freedom Hall, it's going to have music. There's a U of L game later that day, so we hope we get some Cards fans out. It is going to be a wonderful experience at the fairgrounds on Saturday, September 21st. And the second new race, in addition to the two races that already exist that we're partnering with, the second new race is going to be on November 16th. And that's called Race the Runway, where we're going to have a 5K race literally on the runway at Bowman Field. Much flatter than my run this morning at Iroquois Park, but fun nonetheless. So again, I want to thank our partners at Planet Fitness for sponsoring the Mayorthon series of races, which also includes the two existing races that I mentioned, the Louisville Tap 5K on September 7th, which the Louisville Water Company is very involved with, and the Norton Sports Health 4-miler on September 30th, which is at Iroquois Park. Also want to thank the Louisville Sports Commission for their help in partnering with the Joey Wagner Group, with our office, on this very exciting and unique new event series that we're putting together. And remember, anyone who signs up now gets a free membership to Planet Fitness through the race series to help you train and get ready for this event. So please visit mayorthon502.com to sign up and learn more. Now I'm going to briefly call out Joey Wagner, who leads the Joey Wagner Group, to talk a little bit about all of these work that we're working on together. And he'll probably tell you that we're still looking for more sponsors if anyone else is interested. Joey?
Thanks, Craig. Thank you, guys. Being born and raised here in Louisville, Kentucky, and producing events here in the city for over 20 years now, we are just super honored and blessed to be able to help the city of Louisville. I've had every opportunity to leave this city, and I'm never going to leave. I always want to continue to elevate this city, continue to bring great things to this city, and work really, really hard to make Louisville better. And these 4 to 5 events, if you add the extra race, are going to be the ability for us to do that. I want to thank the mayor for giving us this opportunity. I want to thank his entire team that has been amazing to helping us through this process. I want to thank our entire J. Wagner Group team. They've worked really, really hard. These are going to be some exciting events, and we're going to bring some of our J. Wagner Group experience and flair to these events to make them better and elevate all these events. So super excited. We're going to end the year with an amazing Light Up Louisville presented by LG&E, or we say powered by LG&E. We have some exciting new things that we're working on with that we'll be able to tell you about a little bit later. But once again, we're just excited. Thank you, Mayor, for our opportunity, and we'll see you guys soon at all these events. Thank you.
Thanks, Joey. Thanks, Joey. Happy to answer questions about that when we get to the conclusion of our remarks today. If the folks from the Office of Sustainability and Solarize Louisville can come up next. And we have another great news announcement to talk about today. And it's about the 2024 edition of the Solarize Louisville program, which we launched back in March and we've talked about with you all before. The Solarize Louisville program offers households in Jefferson County and 7 other surrounding counties the opportunity to go solar together and support our goals to be reliant on 100% clean energy. And this program makes investing in solar easy. Through the Solarize Louisville program, we connect participants with vetted solar installers. We provide a step-by-step walkthrough of the solar installation process, and we help participants access discounted solar rates. And I'm happy to announce that due to the overwhelming demand from across the city of Louisville and the positive responses that we've already received, we're extending the deadline for people to apply to Solarize Louisville. And this decision is a direct response to the enthusiasm that Samedha and our team at the Office of Sustainability have heard from our community about the opportunity to participate in the Solarize Louisville program. And so the new deadline to apply is Sunday, August 18th. This new deadline will allow more households to take advantage of the benefits of solar power. And to date, since the program's launch in 2022, nearly 200 participants have already signed up to go solar through Solarize Louisville. I love, as I'm going around the city and driving across through neighborhoods, when I see a house that has the solar panels on their roof, and I know it's one of them that was powered because of the Solarize Louisville program. We want to serve more people. So whether you're thinking about this for the first time, or whether you've been thinking about converting to solar for a long time, exploring Solarize Louisville is a safe and trusted option. And signing up for Solarize Louisville does not obligate you to sign a contract. It's a way that you can learn more and still have time to make a decision. It just expresses your interest in accessing a free, no obligation, discounted quote for solar power through installers that have been vetted and who our city believes are trusted partners. To learn more, to sign up, go to solarizelouisville.com. You'll learn more about it. And I want to introduce a special guest today. Shireen Camp is a Solarize Louisville participant. And Shireen is going to tell you a little bit about her experiences so other folks around the community can hear about them and hopefully want to additionally join before the August 18th deadline. Shireen, thanks for joining us.
Hello, I joined the solar program about 3 years ago, and it has been one of the best investments that I've made for myself and the environment. Samedha was one of the ladies that helped me with the program. I saw it on television and took advantage of it. I have retired. It's been a very good program to help me financially and with the, and with the program, it has led me on to more things. I've purchased an EV car to help with the environment. With the weather getting so bad, with the climate change, the solar program has helped me with my bill financially, has tremendously cut it in half, more than 50%. I'm moving on to more things to help the environment, and it's just been very helpful. I was one of the first in the West End to join the program to join the solar program, and you can't go wrong. The program, the company was very convenient, quick, and very they did really good. Thank you.
Thank you so much. 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 Thank you so much Thank you so much, Shireen. I think Shireen's experience is very similar to the other 200 participants that have already been a part of Solarized Louisville, where it's helped reduce their energy costs and at the same time doing great for the environment and changing habits that have led to other changed habits that are great for our community and the world as well. So thanks to Shireen for participating. Thanks to Sumedha and the entire Office of Sustainability for helping lead this program and everything that you all do every day of the year. And thanks to our trusted partners as well that are helping install these solar panels on homes all across our community. Thank you all very much. We've got two more exciting announcements. I know today is long. The next one, we're going to be joined by Dan Maloney from the Louisville Zoo, where Dan is going to share some great news coming out of the Louisville Zoo. As you probably know, there's always something new and exciting happening at the zoo. My family has loved going there ever since we had our boys, and we love going now as adults. There's something always there for people of all ages. Dan and his team care for about 1,100 animals at the zoo from all over the world. And it's always exciting when the zoo family is growing. So without further ado, let me introduce the Executive Director of the Louisville Zoo, Dan Maloney.
Good to see you. Oh, get that little thing. Good morning, everyone. It's good to see you. Are we in? Yeah, we're still in the morning. We'll put it up in a moment.
Okay.
Yeah, do that. Unless you,
Just leave it up or not?
yeah. What do I do? Just hit that thing?
Just hit play.
Okay. So, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I appreciate it very much. You know, there's always lots of things going on at the zoo. This year, our fiscal year, we had the second highest attendance ever. We had 908,000 guests in our fiscal year. We've got our koalas back after 23 years, and orchestra is back after 15 years. But, you know, we're bettering the bond between people on the planet. That's what our vision and our mission is at the zoo. And so every viable hatching and every viable birth is a cause for celebration. We always have an opportunity to add to our extended family, and it's always exciting. Some births are even more exciting than others. And in this case, this is the first tiger birth that we've had in more than 20 years. That's Jinga. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. That's Jinga and her yet to be named cub. Norton is going to be sponsoring a naming contest down the line there. And it's really a thrilling time for us. These are Sumatran tigers. All tigers are rare in the world, but these are the last of the island tigers. The ones on Bali and the ones on Java disappeared back in the 60s, 70s, 60s and 70s. And so the Sumatra tigers are the smallest in the world. We also have the Amur or Siberian tigers at the zoo. They're the largest in the world. But these guys are extra special. There's probably no more than 400 estimated to still survive in the wild. There are probably just as many in zoos around the world, and they're one of the few species that are globally managed in the world. So animals are moved all over the place. We have a little surprise for you. There's a webcam. You can go to louisville.org/cubcam, and you can see some live images of mom and her youngster. And so this is a way to follow on the progress of the cub. Mom Jinga is an experienced cub. She's only been with us for a few years. She came in May of 22, but she's an experienced mom. She had litters at other zoos, and so she knows what she's doing. I always feel for singleton moms, though, because these cubs wear their patience pretty thin. So it's an exciting time for us. If you haven't been to the zoo for a while, please come on out. And this cub will be on public display. We'll play it by ear, but it'll probably in the next several months. It takes a good 2 to 3 weeks for their eyes just to open. So this cub right now is completely dependent on mom, has very little ability to crawl around. It kind of slugs around at this stage. And we'll just continue to watch how it develops.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you.
Great news.
If anybody, who has little ones at home? I'm thinking of a number. What number is that? 6. That's it.
Where's Marilyn? Oh, there's Marilyn. Come on up, Marilyn. So it's always exciting to celebrate new births, as we just did with the Louisville Zoo. And it's also exciting to celebrate folks who have given so many years of their life to a city like ours that we all love so much. And so for our Louisvillian doing good this week, I want to acknowledge and honor and thank one of my close colleagues for the past year and a half at Louisville Metro Government for me, but someone who has given far more than that, who has given, how many years is it, Marilyn?
7 to the city.
7 to the city, okay, who has given the past 7 years to public service with Louisville Metro Government. Marilyn Harris is the director of our Office of Housing and Community Development. And Marilyn has been a true force in paving the way, in leading the way, in demanding that our city build more safe, quality, and affordable housing in every part of our community. Marilyn is the expert who so many of us in Louisville Metro Government have turned to when we have questions about what we can or are not able to do under certain federal, state, or local programs. When we're looking for new ideas about how we build more affordable housing in new ways given the challenges that the world throws us. Marilyn is always there with an exciting answer and with enthusiasm because she is so committed to building more safe, quality, and affordable housing in every part of our city. Over the past year and a half, as you all know, building more affordable housing has been a top priority for me and our entire administration. And we recently put out the My Louisville Home Plan, which puts forward a bold goal to build and renovate 15,000 new affordable housing units across the city. Many of the ideas in that plan are Marilyn's. Marilyn helped us with that entire plan, put it together. She spent countless hours over the past year and a half, just as she has for the past 7, listening to the community and hearing their ideas as well, so that we at Metro Government could put them into action. She's been a leading force for eviction prevention that our city has done. She's been incredibly helpful as we've worked to develop the innovative, new, and what we believe will be a world-class community care campus to help prevent homelessness in our community. She's been working on new and innovative ways to build housing, like new modular housing opportunities as we sought to bring MMY to our city. She's a true public servant. And the final area that I just want to recognize, all this that only begins to scratch the surface of Marilyn's contributions to our city, is in her leadership of the Affordable Housing Trust Fund. The Affordable Housing Trust Fund is such an important part of helping fill the gaps so that we can build more affordable housing across our city. Marilyn has been the chair for several years, and she has been a key leader in that area as well, as our administration and the administration before ours has invested tens and hundreds of millions of dollars into building more safe, quality, and affordable housing across our city. So Marilyn, I know that you don't like the limelight or spotlight, but thank you for coming out today to let me recognize you on behalf of the entire city of Louisville, to thank you for your years of service, for being the true public servants, for focusing on the important need of safe, quality, and affordable housing across our entire city. I know you're retiring, but I hope we continue to still have opportunities to partner together, to work together. I know that that passion continues. So ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming and thanking Marilyn Harris.
Okay, I promised I wouldn't cry. I really want to thank the community. It has been an amazing 7 years, and the last year and a half has been incredibly exciting and fulfilling, working with the mayor and this administration who brings such passion to the work that I have spent my life doing. I am so looking forward to what this city does and how this city conquers this problem. My work is not done. We've got a lot of work to do, Mayor, and I will still be there championing it, maybe just from a different angle. So thank you all so much. Thank you to the citizens of this city, because honestly, it takes this entire community to come together to help everyone. And when one person in our community does better, everyone does better. And we need to remember that. We need to remember that when we see the homeless person on the street. And we need to remember that when we see and criticize the things that the administration and the city is trying to accomplish. And so my last thing is, to the citizens who want to complain, be part of the solution. Complaining doesn't do us any good. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Marilyn. And with that, I'm happy to take any questions that the media has.
Mayor, there was a lawsuit filed this morning by Shannon and Jeff Lauder. It names several defendants, including LMPD, several officers, and you. It alleges in this lawsuit that you were negligent in hiring former Chief Jacqueline Quinn-Laurel and in supervising her. What response do you have to those allegations in the lawsuit?
I think those allegations are ridiculous.
What about the allegation that you received a letter from Shannon Lauder detailing the ways her case was mishandled within the department?
So let me say a few things about the lawsuit that was just filed. First, as I and our administration has shown, over the past couple of months, when we learned of allegations of sexual harassment, we have addressed them with the seriousness that they deserve, with the seriousness that all allegations of sexual harassment deserve. We have several investigations going on right now to get to the bottom of what has been going on at LMPD and across our city and to find the truth. And so we need to let those investigations play out, and as they do and are completed, we will release those results publicly, because I think that's important to know. But I also want to mention that to reflect on the action that my administration and I have taken when we have found out about alleged wrongdoing. The actions that we've taken just over the past couple of months in this area. We've changed policies. We now have a broader definition of sexual harassment that for LMPD that more closely mirrors Louisville Metro government. We have new ways for victims of sexual harassment to report the incidents so that they have more options and have more comfort to report that, which is so important. The command staff at LMPD has completed mandatory sexual harassment training over the past couple of months. They've increased the support that's provided to victims of sexual harassment. And Chief Humphrey has put individuals on leave pending the results of these investigations that I have mentioned. So every allegation is taken seriously. We will take this lawsuit very seriously, and we will respond accordingly.
Are you denying that you received that letter?
I have not read the entire case yet. As I mentioned, I've been going all morning today, so I'm aware of the lawsuit that's filed. I'm aware of some of the allegations. I need to read the entire lawsuit before I provide more specific comments, and I will do that today.
Do you still stand by your decision to promote Bill Roel as chief?
Yes. Yes, I stand by that decision at the time based on what I knew, and I also stand by my decision to ask for her resignation when I did that as well.
In Frankfurt today, there were talks about the needs for paramedics and EMS workers and trauma care workers needing more resources, and there needs to be more people going into that profession. What can you say about here in Louisville? Is there a need for more people to be paramedics, to work in EMS, to do those kinds of jobs? And what can be done about it, or is something?
Yes, there definitely is. Just as we need more police officers in LMPD, we also need more paramedics and paramedics and EMTs. And we have taken action in that. Just recently, we negotiated a new contract with the union that represents paramedics and EMTs and had historic record-breaking raises for those individuals who were vastly underpaid as when they were part of Louisville Metro government compared to their peers at other EMS providers just across our city. in some of the other ambulance services that are part of fire and EMS districts across our city. I believe it was over a 30% raise that we have now agreed to with the paramedics and EMTs. They deserve these raises. I was happy that our administration negotiated these raises, and we're hopeful that we can attract more people to become paramedics and EMTs for Louisville EMS. They deserve it, our community deserves it, and we'll continue to invest in them just as we do all first responders. That is one of the most important functions that our government does. Roberto.
Replacement in mind for former Councilman James Keaton on the Civilian Review and Accountability Board?
Not yet. I was just recently, just a couple days ago, I was made aware of the issue why his appointment cannot go forward, and so I'll be working on that over the coming days and week.
What's the process for selecting a new replacement, or selecting Councilman Keaton in the first place? What kind of process do you all go through to figure out who should get that appointment from the mayor's office?
Well, in the Civilian Review and Accountability Board, there are a couple of different processes, because part of it involves nominations that come to me from various organizations that are spelled out in that ordinance, and so some of those folks were selected from a list that was provided to me. Those people have already gone forward to council, I believe. And then also, trying to have balance on the board as well is important, not just for the Civilian Review and Accountability Board, but for all the boards, trying to have overall diversity across all spectrums, whether it's geographic, whether it's gender, whether it's racial, whether it's political, so many different ways that we're looking at to have balance. And so looking at folks that have expressed an interest that I believe would be a good fit, and that I've reached out to. So each spot is different.
You mentioned some ongoing investigations at LMPD. Can you just tell us where those are at, how close to the finish line they are?
I hope very close. There's no one who wants to have the investigations completed more quickly than me, but I also think it's very important that they be done thoroughly and completely so that the entire community can have the truth and the facts about what's happened. And so there are 2 investigations that are going on right now, and I'm hesitant to give any timelines, but I'm hoping at least one of them is done within the next month. Thank you all very much. Have a good day.